I want to act mostly as an advocate to founder first, because you know that that one who is taking money in the venture world is in the most vulnerable position in most cases. So Santa Lemsha, Simpleros, a fintech company. Can you please let us know a bit about your business, how it is working currently, and are you a prospective venture debt customer for Flashpoint VC or probably to SEB Banka?
Hello everyone, nice to meet everyone here.
Your microphone, keep it closer.
Okay, is it better? Or it's not switched on?
Please take mine and I will deal with the second one.
Hello everyone, one more time, so now everything fine. So yeah, I'm representing Simpleros, online lender, who provides consumer loans in Spain, purely in automated way. So everyone who has access to internet so can apply for the loan, who of course is like a resident of the Spain. So yeah, I am owner and founder from Riga here, so that's why I'm also.
But you're doing
here.
your business in Spain.
Yeah,
right?
but doing business in Spain.
A bit more sun than in Latvia, okay?
Yeah, but in reality, it's like it's a digital ecosystem. It's like everywhere. So no matter where you are sitting physically, so and where you are doing business. So yeah, we are like providing these consumer loans. I wouldn't say unsecured consumer loans. So it means it's not like very high amounts. It's usually up to 1,000 euros. But of course, it depends on risk profile of potential customers. So it's purely everything based on data, what we can see, and this like behavior, what we can see, what customer provides to us, and that's all.
Okay,
yeah.
I want to stand to the left side of the stage. I'm not not so transparent. Let's see. May I ask a direct question to you, Santa? Are you currently eligible to use the venture debt product under the conditions already a bit unveiled by Tom and Pavel?
By Tom, probably yes. Yeah, I believe we can find some. Yeah, I believe, but really, in case of SEB, I wouldn't say.
Okay, let's imagine that you do.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Okay.
And currently, we are participating in a first round of negotiations. Santa is coming to 2 venture debt providers. Can I please ask you to pass microphone to Tom? And Tom, can you please convince Santa then she have to take this venture debt round from you?
Oh, wow. God, we're excellent people. We're lovely. You can love us. We're great. I mean, look, the main reasons to go with us, flexibility, mainly. Like, that's what we kind of pride ourselves on. And then support further down the road. Like, as Pavel's mentioned, we also want a kind of board observer seat. And the reason for that is, A, to kind of be able to understand what's going on with the business, but also to be able to continue to provide support. Our key strategy is to follow on into businesses that we've invested in. So the more we know the business, the more we can give. And beyond that, then, obviously, we've got a great network of VCs that we work with to help you raise money in the future. Yeah, I guess that's probably it. Yeah.
Okay, let's pass the microphone to Pavel and to hear the second option, let's say. Santa, you're going to choose one of these, or maybe combine 2.
I do have to say that we, and Santos, we spoke as we entered the premises to say that we may not find a deal exactly with Simpleros, but there may be some other companies where we could. And then, so for SAB, our offer really is that we are in a sort of size range of venture debt that is quite a bit smaller than things you can get outside the Baltics. So this is something you can get here. So it's from a local bank. It's from a bank that would like to be your bank once we start a relationship. We don't want to break off a relationship. We'd like to continue it after giving you the venture debt. Yeah, so we'd like to refinance ourselves maybe eventually, or maybe Tom will refinance us, who knows. Yeah, yeah, so I guess that's just, we are just closer to home. Thank you.
Thank you, Santa. Now I'm not asking you what company you will choose. Definitely that's not a question. Did you see any lacks, any unveiled conditions, any unclear topics in the both speeches? Are you in doubt of something in this case?
So in case of CAEB, for me, I was surprised about pricing. To be honest, it was okay. Yeah, but again, yeah. So regarding Flashpoint, I would say I heard one very attractive word for myself, which is very important, which is one of the factors which I usually take into account when decide. So this like flexibility. Of course, no, like because it's very like yeah important. No, it's really like important. Again. Anyway, if we look on like both potential.
That's what we do right now.
Yeah. No, again, I believe that there is a potential to find this like common understanding and common no, like conditions, which works for both like parties. No, yeah, that's why it's like flexibility. It's very like important. If there are very strict conditions on one of these like parties, then of course it's very difficult to even keep these conversations ongoing and like open and to be like open and ready to spend more and more time on this like on this potential deal.
That's very interesting because, you know, in venture world, easy come, easy go is not working. In most cases, you see the opposite. The investor is coming easy, but then he's starting to be tough. And to get rid of such kind of investor can be a tricky thing. So I prefer to see as many tough conditions at the very beginning, but then completely predictable future in our business relations until the exit, rather than very good start, but some not so pleasant things on the go.
Okay, okay. I will share a bit like more what is like my strategy and approach usually when I'm like, let's say, looking for some investors and start like dealing with them. For myself, it's very important that initially there is this like transparency and very like, let's say, clear and straightforward all these like conditions, which is like no like provided, because you know it's like there are no reason to spend any time if we at the each beginning if we see that there is something what doesn't work, simply doesn't work, at least at this point. Probably after 1 year it will work and I will be familiar with this and I will go straight forward. Okay, it works for me. Let's do something on this. So this is one thing, this like transparency. Another thing, yeah, of course, is this like flexibility. If I see, okay, this, let's say, this sector overlaps, I see we can find there this like common understanding and somehow we can deal together. Yes, then it's like we go, no, like for the next step, let's say for more detailed discussions. And then for myself, it's very also important to understand how it will be this, let's say, for example, if we, let's say, discussing for potential cooperation for 3 years, for example, what does it mean for myself from administrative perspective, from resource perspective? If it is something very, let's say, tough, very difficult, complicated all the time, many reports every day, this and that, and all the time such thing, then for myself it's like, it's additional cost of that fund. So I price it up already. So, and then it's like, no, yeah, so it's like also very, very like important thing. And then yeah, this like let's say also this like communication, potential like communication and cooperation, how we can work like together. It's also one thing what we can get in during this discussion period on this like discussion table, and then you start to also feel from this more like from soft factor perspective, not just from numbers, but from soft perspective. How does it seem? It will be possible to work together, or if there are tough situations, to somehow solve them, because we never know what happens after 1 year, 2 or 3 years, even if we have the best conditions and the intentions today.
Oh, okay. Sounds very reasonable. So I want to put one more question to the venture debt providers before we switch to the questions from the audience. Let's say Flashpoint is doing their venture debt for years. So you already participated in this game when the money market conditions were completely different. Now we see the completely new situation, and here SEB Banka is jumping in this game with a very competitive offer. So Tom, your answer. Do you see the difference now, starting from 2023, this year and next year? What are the difference to previous era of cheap money? And will the venture debt be more interesting for startups or probably less interesting?
Well, more interesting, hopefully. But yeah, no, look, there's clearly been a shift in the macro. As I talked about during the speech, like it's a normalization of equity pricing. That doesn't mean that equity money's disappeared, but there is definitely less of it. And in that situation, I mean, look, venture debt rises. I think what's shifted from a sort of venture debt perspective is the use cases. I mean, if we're looking in like 2021, 2022, really, you're only looking at companies that have strong VC backing, because VC money is such a security that like there's so much of it around. You don't really like it's such a security for your loan. It's really like the key factor. Now, obviously, there's less of it. Debt as an instrument in general has risen much more in popularity since the kind of the collapse of SVB and others. Like more banks. I mean, SEB Bank joining in is actually fantastic news because it's more money in the ecosystem. But like more people are interested in it. And I think there's different use cases really. Like, so as I mentioned, like previously it would have been like just VCs joining in funding rounds, avoid dilution, maybe a kind of bridge between rounds. Whereas now we're looking at sort of, I mean, there's a big drive for profitability in startups now at a much earlier stage than there was before. And that's obviously because there's less money available, so to keep the business going. So you see like debt being used as a bridge to profitability. You see it being used actually often more now as, okay, I'm profitable, but I still haven't got a lot of cash because I'm only making whatever 10K a month. It's not enough to actually invest in growth to expand to a new country or something like that. So that's something that venture debt can help you do. You acquire a company outside, or you spend the money on marketing to expand to a new country. So I think there's even more use cases now, which is great. Obviously, interest rates coming down. Hopefully, that will make it more attractive to startups. And also, there's less equity money, so hopefully there's more room for venture debt as well. But yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Pavel, almost the same question to you. Don't you regret that you are not jumping into this game, let's say 3 years before? And if not, or if yes, what are currently changing and what in the nearest future?
Not regretting, definitely not regretting. I think Tom's laughing, and I could guess why. It was not probably an easy time to pick a winner or a good company to enter in 21. So yeah, different times in the market. It's much easier probably, or lenders have more more attention of the companies now. This is, I guess, also why SEB is timing it. Well, one of the reasons why SEB is timing it now. The need is there. We see ourselves coming in 500,000 to 2 million. Tom really starts probably from about 2 million.
Yeah, maybe as low as 1 million, but 2 million is probably like.
Yeah, that's so. We are kind of one stop before you guys. So. Yeah, so we see that that is a niche that needs a bank, and we're happy to be there. And I think the future is bright because there's lots of people in this room, and there's lots more people out there making great companies, and that that ecosystem is only growing. So we're very happy to come in now, and then we think it's the right time. Looking forward to more deals. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So no one in Baltics can say longer that banks are not supporting startups. From now on, they are. Brief question, very brief and straight answer from panelists. Nikita, can I pass the microphone to you, please?
I have one more for Pavel. The conditions for Sweden, are they the same? The interest rate, I'm interested because your interest rate is 10% plus Euribor, so it's like another 3.5, 4, and plus minus 2%, so it's close to 15 plus the stuff. Is it the same for Sweden or no?
About the same, yes. It's about the same, and yeah.
And what's the default rate in Sweden? You've been there 3 years already with this product? So what's the default rate average?
It's not been plain sailing, I can tell you that. But it never is. It never is. But we're still in business, and we're still working. So I can't give you any numbers, but I can say that it's not an easy business, and I guess this is something we've learned there. That there is a lot of work to be done in the interim, and also not everything works out as planned. Yeah, but I guess this is a learning path we have to be on as a bank, and as long as we are in a good company with people who know what they're doing, I mean, we can accept that not everything works out every time.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, ladies, more questions.
Thank you. I have a question to Tom and Pavels. Basically, what are the requirements for startups that you are looking for? Basically, what are the revenues, like other metrics that you are looking for?
Sure. So I mean, I think if I start, like I said, maybe sort of like 3 million ARR is probably what we're looking at from the venture debt side.
3 million.
3 million, yeah, of ARR, annualized revenue, depending on obviously the company. VC teams obviously looking 1 million, and secondary team around 10 mil plus. We're looking for tech companies really. That's the core of what we're interested in. Another thing we look at, I guess, heavily is unit economics. So as I mentioned during like the presentation, it's really important to have the information on that. Let's say like kind of 2-3x LTV to CAC is really what we're hoping to see. Obviously, more the merrier, but depends on the company. And then I guess VC investors or profitability would be kind of the final checker. So either you're profitable or you've got some other investors on board. Because if you're burning money and then we're coming in with debt on top, you're just increasing the burn and you're going to run out of money, which isn't great for us.
So in case you have, for example, like VC-baked business and bootstrap business, what are the preferred way for you?
Yeah, so it's an interesting question, one I've actually been thinking about a lot over the last year. Historically, the answer is VC. The problem with that is that bootstrap businesses, kind of by necessity, are often much more efficient, much better businesses in the way they're built because they had to be in order to grow, whereas with VC, you can afford to be a bit more inefficient in order to achieve those high growth rates. Again, it really depends on the company. I think with bootstrapped, it really comes down to profitability, or like obviously I said, like we often want to be coming in as part of a round. So if we're coming in as part of a new equity round, then that's fine. But yeah, it depends whether or not you can support the debt with the profitability that we can see either now or kind of over the next 3 years of the loan, right? We're going to build financial models and understand that, but it really depends. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pavels, would you be interested to add something to this answer?
I guess looking at similar things as Tom's looking, maybe the lower ARR, 500,000, like I mentioned, we would prefer companies with VCs in them. So we do 30% of a round. Would we go into a company where there are no VCs, they're just the founders? We have so far kind of have been quite cautious on continuing our discussions. We have had requests, but we have kind of been cautious because that's not what we, that we then struggle to see our exit. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a Baltic product. I was in Tallinn last week, met some great people, and I'll meet some more great people from Estonia tomorrow and the day after. So definitely looking.
If the company like bootstrap, like say, he held like the revenues, unit economics, what's the problem? Like if they don't have VC money, like the unit economics works well, etc.
If all is well, the question then is what is our exit? Because we have to together with the company draw paint ourselves an exit. I mean, if we're about to be profitable and we'll be repaid from cash flow, great. But if there is a future round, but you don't have any investors yet, well, we would like to see you first learn how to work with investors, maybe, and then we can finance you, because we know that you can raise round. Yeah, that's the idea.
Does it happen that you ask VCs for additional security?
We have we are I mean, we just started the product, but that's not our intention now. Well, the reasoning I heard from my dear Swedish colleagues is that, of course, if you're lending to a VC, well, it's not exactly a venture debt. It's a corporate debt to a VC. That's a different story. So it's a different product. Venture debt is a very specific thing, so we keep it to the company.
But if you're making a venture debt, and then maybe as an additional sort of,
would we if the VC was to offer us security, would we refuse it? Probably not. But we would not, I guess, specifically seek it. No. That's not our intention to seek security outside the company. No. That's
Yeah. You will VC.
That was awesome. So I want Santa, I want to ask you to keep the microphone and to wrap up the session with 2-3 sentences about the venture debt from the point of view as a startup founder.
Okay. I would say the first thing always is like that both parties have to find this match, like at least some kind of a match at specific point for specific needs and for specific future period. So because if even something doesn't work like today, if you felt that okay, after 1 year I would come here or here and potentially we can make a deal, so it is already, I would say, very positive and valuable outcome of any kind of like discussions. Of course, if it's like no point, then no point, yeah. And what also I can do, just encourage like to speak more and more with different kind of potential partners, investors, different kind of, and we'll see, because you never know. One comment probably to CEB. So it was like we would like to see somewhere who will be the first for them, and this is some kind of, I would say, even this like icebreaker for many like companies to get this first one, like, and then afterwards like everyone is ready to follow. It's like usually, but as a first one you can get more like a benefit. But of course risk as well is much higher. It's like usually.
Great, thank you so much. It was kind of really great finishing of this really great panel discussion. Thanks to the speakers. Some kind of applause from the audience. I hope you are not just very overwhelmed with the venture debt idea. Thank you.